Hello and good day. I am continuing work on this landscape design here, and from my previous video I have done some additional work to the topography using the sandbox tools to get it as dialed in as I can from what is in reality, from what is out in the field. And that process of molding this to better represent the location is kind of tedious and time consuming. As you can see, there's a bunch of added geometry in here. If you care to see how I kind of nailed the geometry down, let me know in the comments. It is time consuming, so I left it out, but this is where I stand now. And today I will be working on adding in some retaining walls right in this section here. And now, as I said before, it is very valuable to have pictures of the site. So this is the corner in question here. And as you can see, this is where I'll be installing the retaining walls right in here. They have been roughly dug out by the excavator, but I will be coming back to tidy them up, to install the retaining walls and backfill them and get it looking nice and pretty. So again, the pictures, the infilled pictures, are really what is necessary to make this process go smooth. Alright, and from those pictures and from what I have done in the field, I know the dimensions of these retaining walls. So what I'm going to do is just start with a rectangle. It's going to be 15 feet by 2.5 feet. And then I'm going to pull that up 3 feet. Well, let's go 4 feet. Okay, so this is going to be my rough outline of the retaining wall that I'm going to be, of one of the retaining walls that I'm going to be placing. And what I'm going to do is bring that over to where I'm working. And I just always find that it's easiest moving these things when staying on the different colored axis instead of trying to go on a diagonal. Alright, perfect. So this is where it's going to drop down, and it'll be something like this. But in order for it to mesh with the topography, I've got to do a couple steps, and let me show you what that's going to look like. So I'm just going to hover this above, keeping it straight up on the blue axis, straight up from where I do want it placed. Let me deselect that now and select the topography. Alright. Okay. I'm going to reselect that actually. And then I'm going to hit my stamp tool right over here and see what I can do to make a bit of a recess for that to sit in. And it's, you can see right there on the left side of this that's moving, is it gets right about to the bottom of the house level. It can take it there. It also does no harm to bring it down lower, just in case. So I'm going to bring that down, click it to secure it. Now let's take a look at it. So I've got a perfect placement, a perfect setting for this retaining wall to fit into in this model. Kind of show you what that looks like underneath with the geometry. And now I'm going to do a dry fit to make sure that this goes in as planned. So again, keeping it on the blue axis. And that is pretty much what I'm going for there. Very cool. Alright, so I'm going to pull this out and bring it over to the side so I can work on it further, because I want to add some texture to this. And the retaining wall that I'll be installing is dry stack. And what I was able to do is to just find an image online of the dry stack material that I'm going to be working with. And so this was just a quick Google search. I was able to bring up this image, and what I actually did is took a screenshot of it on my Mac. I can just pull and screenshot it, and that's going to save, and then I'm going to import that here into Sketchup. If I can find it. There we go. Okay. And that will wrap around for me. So this dry stack texture that I'm going for, now I've got it applied onto one side, and I'm just going to carry that throughout and come to my paint bucket here and use the colors in model. And there's my dry stack. Let me just hit all sides. Great. Okay, so yeah, this is the material that I'll be using, and it's going to serve great here to represent in the rendering for the homeowner, so they know what material is going in and we're both on the same page. And now that I've got this over to the side, I can bring it back over and drop it into place. Awesome. Okay, so I've got that retaining wall into place. There's going to be a little bit of cleanup work with the topography here. And what I'll end up doing is just going back into my sandbox tools, and I will bring these down because you'll be seeing the majority of this face on the front side, but can kind of model this as to how I'll shape the earth around this retaining wall. And the right side of this wall will kind of die into the slope here. But can get a little bit better perspective with nitpicking on this topography. So, and then obviously behind back here, this will all be lowered. But kind of a time-consuming process to go through and do that, but it is necessary. Alright, so there we go. I've got my first retaining wall installed. And again, if I refer back to my photos, there's going to be two tiers of retaining wall. One will be here that I just placed, and then the second one will be up here. And it's going to be the same exact process that I just went through to build this one, but I'll do it on the next tier up. Well, very cool. Let me know if you have any questions with this little process here. It took me a while to kind of get this rhythm down, but found kind of a short way to get it into the model and have it mesh with this topography that I'm working with. So anyhow, thanks for watching and take care.